Welcome to Untitled Tech Tips. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a budget build in 2021. It's kind of hard to fit GPU in a budget build right now, so we did have to make compromises. But you do get a hexa-core processor, a 6-core processor with 3 GHz speed, which we'll try to overclock, but you will still have a base clock of 2.93. Yeah, it is a server processor, but it's good to add in. It was $22, but it works good. And yes, it's a Xeon processor. It's an old one, so you do lack some good features like DDR4 or PCIe Express Gen 4. Yeah, they are crucial for gamers in 2021, but if you think it as a temporary PC that you're gonna have till you buy another PC, it's pretty good. Well. This is what we're gonna be working with today. These are the parts I could find for $700, I guess. That's probably gonna be the title of this video, maybe. Just stay that way. Okay, let's start with our case. Here we have our Cooler Master Box Q300L series case. It's a mini ITX and micro ATX supported case, and yeah, we did have to go with a $200 GPU. It's not even worth that much. It probably cost like 100 maybe before the GPU crisis went on, so I guess we have to just stick with it. Okay, first let's start with our motherboard, and before that let's clear our table. This right here is our motherboard. It's not ASUS or MSI. It's just some random Chinese company motherboard, but it is functional. I did test bench it. That's probably the noise that you heard, sound right there. I did test bench it. I did connect it, and I was making sure if I had any faulty hardware, which I did not, so it's good to go. This right here is gonna be our anti-static base. So our motherboard itself, it's okay. It doesn't look that good, but it's functional. That's all we need. It's a budget build. We're not going for looks. So it has 2 DDR3 spots, a socket, and PCI Express. It does not have the M.2s because it doesn't have it. That's it. So let's start with our processor here. It does come in this beige box. It's not even its original. It's a Xeon X5670 processor. It's Costa Rica. That's its code name. It is hexa-core 2.93 gigahertz base clock. I'm guessing you could overclock it, but let's figure that out. And we did have to go with a hard drive. You can put a SATA SSD if you want to, but I didn't want to break the bank. It's basically not breaking the bank, but I just didn't want to put additional money in this, so I just went with a hard drive. Let's put in our... Why is this hard to take out? Okay, good. Let's put in our processor. Great. And now let's put in our RAM first. this is our 8 GB kit, ATEC DDR3 memory, it is, I guess it was 1333 megahertz speed. So it's pretty okay for, running basic tasks. You can get a 16 gigs kit for it, but I didn't think it was that necessary, so I didn't. Okay, now let's put in our CPU cooler with our thermal paste. Now we have our cooler ready and working, I guess. All we have left is to connect this connector, 3-pin connector up here, and we're done. Okay, now we need to transfer this into the case. So this right here is our Masterbox Q300L series. It comes with magnetic dust filters, and it's micro ATX and ITX case. So our board right here is a ITX, I guess. So it should fit. Okay. So this was for about 50 bucks. It's acrylic glass. Motherboards do not support that, so that's the reason he gives like separate ones to work. Now we're gonna be putting our motherboard inside, but first we need our standoffs. This case does come with a pre-built fan. It's a Cooler Master fan, as I said, but it doesn't also our motherboard doesn't support two 3-pin connectors, so we can't use it, unfortunately, but I will try to make some use out of it. So now we'll be putting in our motherboard finally, but before that we'll add our fans now, because it would be easier if we did it now than before. So we did get other fans. It's from Agio, and I am for sure not screwing in all 4 screws for all 3 of these. So air circulation is probably going to be a big thing in here, because it's not pretty closed case. It does have great ventilation for an micro ATX case, but we're going to have 2 intakes on the top, which is going to take fresh air inside, and we have the other fan that's next to the CPU, the motherboard, that's gonna suck air out of the computer. So we're gonna be getting fresh air every time. Well, that's a theory, but it should work. First, we have to put in our IO plate, and then we'll put our motherboard in. Now we're gonna put in our motherboard in. It's easy. So we did have problems with our air cooler here, so I had to readjust that. Before it was like it was in a different angle. Now it's good. This right here is almost over. We need to install our graphics card and our PSU. This right here is our 550 watt fully modular Century Monteck PSU. It is pretty okay. It is a 80 plus gold efficiency, and you really don't need a 550 watt power supply, but I just got it for other videos. So hey, we have it. We got our power supply ready. So all we have to do, put this in the case. I've left is to screw in these and then just see the results, I guess. Okay, now all we have left is to connect our dots, and cable managing this thing is gonna be a hell of a tough thing. This right here is our Gigabyte Geforce GTX 1050. It is not that good, but it's better than integrated graphics. By the way, you could save a buck by if you can wait for the GPU prices to come down. If you could wait, you could actually spend more on your processor and other stuff. So you would get a M.2 slot in the future that you can use and stuff. It would be great if you can. If you want a GPU so badly, this could be an option. So let's get started. The only bad thing about this case is the PCIe slots are not reusable. If you take them out once, they're gone, they're dead. So when I wanted to test them out, I accidentally removed the wrong PCIe slot cover and it looks ugly. Well, the only one use it's probably gonna be good for is probably because it's gonna have more ventilation, which so we did go for an HDD only. You could have gone for a SATA SSD, but we did just need this because I didn't want to spend more money. So this should be good. It's not, I already tested it, but it's not really that bad. But if you could spend an extra buck, you can buy an SATA SSD, which would be good. Well, we're almost done with our build. It's not the best cable management I got, but if you can't see the cables, that basically means it's cable managed. Well. Finally, we have it done. The only thing we need to see is, does it boot? This is the moment of truth. We are almost done completing the PC. We just have this. But remember, I already did boot this up. It did work. But one thing I noticed is, this thing does not support Windows 11. It does support Windows 10, Pro, and Home. So that is a good thing. So you do want to go with Windows 11. This is not for you. So let's see if this works. Ooh, we saw RGB. So okay, we saw our Xeon processor. Why did it stop? Oh, okay. They did show up. I don't know if I did give time or something, but I did pre-install Windows to the disk. So okay, we did everything. It started, it booted, everything is fine. All we have left to do is this. That is so satisfying. That looks super clean, considering that it's an acrylic glass. Okay, we saw everything. It works fine. The temps, I don't know, I have to install the drivers and the afterburner for the GPU. We'll do that in a short time. Also, we'll see if we can overclock this thing at least to 3.6 or 7 gigahertz. I'm not sure. The turbo, it does have Intel Turbo. It goes up to 3.3 gigahertz. So actually, let's see how good it's doing in our task manager. Yeah, now we're finally at our tests. We're gonna test this PC, how well it's gonna do, and see if it's actually worth it. Okay, we pulled up our CPU-Z. As you can see, our things showed up. 32 nanometer, it's taking 1.1 voltage approximately, and it has 6 cores, 12 threads, 2.9 gigahertz. Okay, everything's good. Here we have our core temperatures. We are running about average of 40, 30, 33, something like that, and we're having our utilization most of it in core 2. So let's see how it goes after we actually, let's also see what our GPU is here. Okay, we didn't overclock anything in our MSI Afterburner. It's running at 38 Celsius. It's pretty okay. It's still an idle. We're gonna be test benching with few graphic intensive games. Most of them are not. We're gonna play Fortnite, which is okay. It's not graphics intensive, but it does have some graphics. We're in Fortnite now, as you guys can see. Let's see what happens and what is our GPU gonna be. I don't want friends, I'm sorry. Okay. We're gonna play some Team Rumble and see, let's crank up our settings. Oh, it's actually cranked up. It's everything in Epic. Post processing, motion blur. Motion blur is gonna take some of it, but I don't like motion blur. But just to put additional, I'll put DirectX 12 actually. Okay. Latency. What is this? Boost. Okay. Okay, we're all set. I'm actually more like a controller player, but let's see. So we cranked up all the settings before entering the game, and we put DirectX 12, everything we need to max this out. I did put 120 Hz. This TV does support 120 Hz, but it didn't allow me. The graphics card can't do that. It goes to 30 frames. That sucks. That's gonna be like slideshow. Wow. So we do. Yeah, that's definitely 30 Hz. It's lagging too. Doesn't feel that fluid, but I mean, you can't expect more because okay. Okay, we're on the LAN. It's so hard to play with very low refresh rate. It has graphics though, I can say that. I can see shadows and it doesn't have ray tracing of course, but it feels okay. Oh, that's very bad. That's lagging very bad. Okay, let's see if we can get more refresh rate from dropping our graphics. Okay, long story short, I did complete the video, so I did test bench it and all those good stuff. It was pretty bad in Cinebench scores, and it was like in the last position of the top lists. So I don't have that clip. I'm so sorry. Yes, because I lost the footage of it. You might be seeing I got a haircut. Yeah. Well, good stuff. Okay, so yeah, Fortnite did work 120 FPS in mid-range graphics. Mid-range everything, it worked 120. It even went to 144 sometimes. So yes, this is a pretty good budget build if you want to check it out. I'll put the list of components in the description if you want to check them out. I'm also gonna put where I found them next to it. And thank you. Subscribe if you made it this far. And you might be my first subscriber, I guess.